Now, how many text messages do you send in a day? Have you actually worked it out? According to figures out today from a mobile phone comparison site, we'll spend on average 28, can you believe this, £28,000 on texts in a lifetime. Well, the average figure, apparently, is 500 texts a month. Andy Barr is Marketing and Communications Director for right-mob-bbc-hum.wmv, and he is on the line to us now. Andy, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
Not too bad, thank you. And you good self?
Yes, fine. And that's a huge amount of money when you actually think about £28,000. But I suppose if you break it down over a number of years, it's not too bad, is it?
It's scary. When we looked at what else you could buy, and you could see that you could buy Lotus Elise or 76,000 Mars bars, we were absolutely amazed.
So, I mean, it is an obsession at the moment, and presumably the figures are getting higher and higher as well, aren't they?
Oh, they are. I think we've seen on Right Mobile Phone that you've got more and more young kids now getting phones. I think there was a story out last week about 5 to 9-year-olds getting mobile phones. So it's only going to get higher. And I think if you also look at the fact that people are now communicating more through text and mobile rather than chatting face to face, it's really scary.
Well, that's depressing more than anything else, isn't it, really?
I think it's worrying. It's worrying, but it's good for mobile phone companies and it's good for us.
And do people accept the first deal that is offered, or are people getting wise? And is the cost actually likely to, to come down as it becomes more fashionable?
Oh, definitely. I think the best thing to do is to shop around and try and get the best deal. And I think that people are really savvy on that now, and that's why they're using online comparison sites like ours, because they know if they haggle around, they'll get some brilliant deals and get cheaper bills.
And the average text number is 500 a month. It sounds an awful lot, but then 2 or 3 people have said to me they send actually more than 1,000, so it's not that high, really.
No, not really. When you think about it, I think I use a lot more than that. I mean, the biggest thing I've got at the minute is my parents are on, and they've got text on their phones now, so they're texting me. I talk more on text now to my own parents than I do on the phone, which is sad, but it's a state of affairs today.
Yeah, it's interesting that there's more time spent texting than actually talking to people. I mean, that is just frightening, really, isn't it?
Very much so. I think people in our survey found that people are coming on and they're actually spending more time talking to friends by text message and on the phone than meeting them face to face. I remember going to the pub on a Friday, having a good chat, but I think now people are texting each other instead. Maybe it's the economy.
And what are the big changes in the mobile world then? How are we going to see things change in the coming months and years?
I think it's still going to be all about the touchscreen iPhone. Sorry, Apple has come in with the iPhone, have revolutionised the mobile phone market, and everyone's trying to copy that. But if you look around now, there's loads of great deals at the minute. You've got things like unlimited text messages and 900 minutes free calls with the Nokia, with Vodafone. So there's absolutely huge offers going on at the minute.
And is this a current fad, do you think, that will die down again, or is this now one of these things that is here to stay, and here to stay big style?
I think it's embedded in us. When you see that people are using their mobile phones for their Facebook and for Twitter, and everyone's using them, so, mobile phones are here to stay. Nothing's going to replace them in the short term, and that's why we encourage people to get on Right Mobile Phone and have a look and get the best deal.
And how do people know if they have got the best deal, and what are people's biggest moans at the moment?
I think that the biggest moans are always the fact that people are coming along and not getting the phone that's as up to date as they hoped. Maybe they're hooked in with a cheap deal, but the phone's not as funky as they want. So it's all about getting on there and getting the best deal with the most modern phones. That's what everyone's comparing their phones down the pub, aren't they?
And the sort of coverage around the UK, is it all much of a muchness now, or is there still large variations?
I think the more established networks are always going to have a slight lead on other people. But what we do say is you can come on our site and have a look as well and see what the coverage is like, and really check with the networks first before you go and buy a phone. Check with the networks that they do have coverage where you live.
And are people able to play hardball with the companies to try and get a better deal? Because they even have a selection to press for if you're thinking of leaving us. They're worried to death about people going, aren't they?
Very much so. It's fighting to keep your customer, and that's why when you go on sites and look to see what deal you get, when you then ring them and try and get more as well, that's a really good idea.
Okay, well, very good to have you on the programme today. Thank you very much indeed, Andy. Most grateful. That's Andy Barr, who is Marketing and Communications Director for right-mob-bbc-hum.wmv. Right.